Welcome to Sacred Space, the podcast. I am Tanika, your host, and this is a space for you to tune in and become educated, evolved, and expanded on all things generational healing, personal development, and spirituality. This is a space where I'll get beautiful, like-minded guests on to speak into their stories and their wisdom, as well as hearing mine. So take a big, deep breath into your belly, get anchored, get grounded, and let's get into this week's episode. Hello queens, how are we going this week? I am so excited to be back for another episode. Shall we begin with an oracle card before I tell you what it's about, even though there's going to be a title and you're going to know what it's about anyway? I have like 20 million different oracle card decks and I just like sit here and use the same one. But anyway, what have we got today? Oh my gosh, okay, this card I just pulled, I literally pulled for myself last night as well. So clearly there's a message in here for me. It's called Upper World. The number is 59 and it's a really beautiful card. It's like blue, but it's very feathery and cloudy and mystical. And there's like the moon in the distance. It almost looks like a crystal ball. So I didn't fully read it last night when I got it. I was just like, cool. My angels, because like Upper World is like, you know, your angels and stuff. So like, I was kind of like, okay, they're here. Great. Anyway, let's read it. Angels, divine helpers, ancient ones, all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become. Discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. Ask your divine helpers for guidance. If the oracle has already spoken to you, do not ask for more guidance. Take what has been offered. Now you must deal with the lethargy and idleness. While support for a new destiny is not yet in place, a new destination is available to you if you act now. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self, clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. This is funny because I literally have been focusing on not distracting myself. I find I'm a very no, I'm not going to say I am because then that's affirming I am, but I've recognized patterns in myself of very much just of recent grabbing my phone and allowing it to distract me from what I'm actually doing, or grabbing turning on a podcast instead of just being still in my mind. And you might relate to this. I feel like it's quite popular that it's just something that people do is we kind of put it on the, but I love podcasts, but I love music, but I need to go on my phone. I really need to do this. And it's it's actually just not serving us at all. Sometimes we actually just need quiet and silence. Let's have a chat about how you can be the person for yourself that you are seeking outside of yourself. Oh, I love this. This isn't about being hyper independent and not letting other people be there for you, but this is about being the person that you seek in other people because you come from a place of thinking you are not enough. Got it? Okay, so what really has activated me to have this conversation is one of my friends, a beautiful person in my life. She came to me with something that she was moving through and she knows her love language is a certain love language. And she was saying, I just wish that my workplace would give me this love language in a way. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel validated. That's just how I love to be loved or, cared for, which is quite normal. We all have our own little love languages. And, in the workplace, it is really important that our employers make us feel seen, make us feel validated. But something that I reflected back to her, and it sort of just made me think, so many people would be moving through this, was how can she be that for herself? Instead of needing her workplace to make her feel a certain way and make her feel that level of validation, which, yes, of course, your workplace should. Where can you also be that for yourself, though, so that it's not coming from a place of needing the validation, but actually just receiving the validation, and then that can lift your frequency even more. So where are you in your life, putting the responsibility that is actually your own onto your partner, onto your friends, onto your parents, onto your co-workers or your employer, where really you could actually take some inspired action towards making yourself feel that way. So let's go with words of affirmation. I'm sure we all love words of affirmation. I love words of affirmation. Tell me I'm pretty. So words of affirmation. it might be something that you're seeking outside of yourself. And this has actually been something myself I've just been moving through recently, as my partner's love language is very much physical touch and mine is very much words of affirmation. That's like my strongest love language, and his is physical touch, whereas physical touch probably isn't one of my top 3. So, we've obviously been together for quite some time, and we recognize that in each other, but sometimes he might really want physical touch and I might just really not want it. And sometimes I might really just want him to tell me a million reasons why he loves me, and he can only think of one, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just simply like our brains work differently. So I myself have also been journeying through this. So I just like this theme seems really good for this episode. So where is it that you may be putting the responsibility on someone else, where you could actually show yourself this much love and fill up your cup, so that when you receive from people in your life, it's actually coming, like what you receive from them is an overflowing amount on top of what you already give to yourself. So the way that I love to give myself words of affirmation is literally every morning I read affirmations into the mirror, and I always read them into the mirror, and I've probably spoken about this on the podcast, but I always read them into the mirror because I truly believe that when I look at myself and see myself affirming these things, it really makes it more believable. And it also allows me to actually feel into it. And even if I'm closing down my eyes and visualizing, I'm still like just seeing myself. I'm giving those words of affirmation to myself. It's filling up my cup. It's making me feel really good inside. And it's allowing me to go about my day from a really high frequency space with powerful intentions, knowing that no matter what happens, it's always for my best and highest good. So I invite you, if you love words of affirmation, where can you give those words to yourself? Maybe it does look like reading out some affirmations to yourself in the mirror of the morning, maybe even just while you're brushing your teeth. If you're someone who has quite a busy lifestyle and you struggle to fit time in for yourself, it could really be while you're brushing your teeth, you're just like saying them in your head. While you're brushing your hair, you're saying them aloud. Maybe you want to listen to some recorded, like on Insight Timer, there's lots of affirmation tracks. You could listen to those while you're doing things. Be really creative with this process. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be a chore, and it shouldn't be a chore. Another way that you could show yourself love, I should have got up like the love languages. Hold on, let me do that actually. Oh, I nearly just spilled over my coffee. Actually, I'm going to pause this and have a sip. Okay, I'm back, and I'm talking quite fast. Maybe I don't need another sip of my coffee, but YOLO, but actually believe in past lives kind of vibe. Okay, so we've gone over words of affirmation and then acts of service. So that's actually my second biggest one, is acts of service. I love servicing others. I love filling up other people's cups, right? I love doing things for my partner. Like when he gets home from work, I love just having things done around the house so that he can walk in and not have to stress about the day. Not have to stress about doing anything because he's had a big day. I fucking love that. That is to me top tier. Telling him how much I love him, having things done, I'm like, Anyway, how can you do this for yourself? And so this is really powerful. So I know for me, acts of service for myself, and you see acts of service and you think of doing chores or doing things, and it makes sense why acts of service and words of affirmation are my top love languages when I run the business that I do. But for myself, an act of service is running myself a really beautiful bath and allowing myself to just soak in it. Acts of service may look like making my bed really nice, putting on my oil diffuser, and then sitting down and reading a book. It's servicing the space to my highest vibe. So where can you bring that love language in and actually start to harness acts of service to fill up your own cup, so that when other people show you that acts of service, it's oh my God, it's making my heart explode. It's not even filling up my heart, it's making my heart fucking explode. So the next one is receiving gifts. So with receiving gifts, obviously this is quite simple, for yourself, treat yourself, my queen, go off, treat yourself. Maybe you are someone who loves buying gifts for other people, and you really value seeing their face when they open it, and you just absolutely love that feeling of giving someone something. But then, maybe people around you don't have that love language too, and you're just oh my God, I never feel like anyone buys me gifts. Where can you go out and buy yourself a nice piece of jewelry and make it a thing? Be romantic with yourself. If you were to have a partner and you were to buy them a gift, right? I would say wrap it up. I would guess you would wrap it up, give it to them really nicely, make it feel really fun. Do that for yourself. Honestly, wrap it up. sit down with yourself, make it a whole thing, like sit down and like sit in front of the mirror if you want to, and like, I don't know, like make it fun, like fill up your cup in that way. And you know, it doesn't have to be an expensive gift. You could always just like buy yourself a cup of coffee and then like sit in presence with it. Like, oh my gosh, I've just purchased this for myself, because you know how good it feels to buy a coffee for your friend. You know how good it feels to buy your friend's breakfast. You know, that's an act of giving a gift. Like do that for you. Take yourself out for breakfast, right? The next one is quality time that's coming up. And oh my God, I'm a sucker for quality time as well. That is definitely, I'm pretty sure my top ones are words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and then receiving gifts. Because like, anyway. So quality time with self really does like kind of come into all of these, because where are you not spending enough time with yourself, but then maybe putting the pressure on your partner to, oh, can you like we need to go out on a date, like we need to go do this. And it's kind of coming from a place of like, we need to do this because I need quality time. But where are you not giving that to yourself, so that when you have that time with your partner, you're even more present. You're even more there with them. The time is even more higher quality. So this could really look like, you know, taking yourself on a beautiful nature walk. Like take yourself on a date. What would you do with your partner? Do it with yourself. Do it with yourself. And then physical touch. So physical touch is like, of course, if you don't have a partner or like someone that you can like receive physical touch from, it can kind of be a bit like, oh my gosh, I just really crave like connection with someone else. But the way that I would bring physical touch in, and I do bring physical touch in, is by self-massage. You guys know I love self-massage. Self-massage, lymphatic drainage, like self-lymphatic drainage, tapping, like EFT tapping. How can you bring that physical touch in to actually amplify that feeling of love within you, so that you don't have to seek it from outside of you, to validate yourself? And it's not even like validating, it's actually just like filling up your cup and putting yourself into a high frequency. So I just hope this episode has really helped you to understand that yes, we have love languages. Yes, there's ways that we love to be loved, but start implementing them into loving yourself first. It is so important. Your relationship with yourself is more important than any other relationship in your life. You should feel so fulfilled, so empowered, and so liberated in who you are. And if you're struggling to connect in with that love, begin connecting in through your love languages. There is a book about love languages. There's also a website. It's probably called like lovelanguages.com. I don't have it on me right now, like conveniently. But just look up love language test online, and you can do your test, you can see what yours are, you may already know, and just start showing yourself love in these ways. Anyway, I have clearly had so much coffee this morning, so I'm going to get off and go for a run or something. I hope this episode has helped you. I hope this episode has allowed you to see that you are actually so worthy of receiving love from yourself and not just people around you. Like you can actually just like do these things for you. So don't forget to share this episode with a friend who may, you know, be experiencing a little lull of love. Like maybe they need some inspiration on how to love themselves, and hopefully this can help. I would love if you could leave me a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. If you could like leave me a written review, oh my God, I'm sending you a million kisses. I actually appreciate you so much. It just helps the show to grow, and we just love that so much. I'm also on YouTube now, as we know. Don't forget to join my free Facebook community group, Sacred Community with Tanika. It is such a great space. You can ask me questions in there about the podcast. I go live in there. I hold free new moon circles for us to connect and set intentions together. And they're held online as well. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can join us. It's honestly just so fun being a part of the Sacred Community with Tanika, moi. So don't forget to jump on over there. There's links all down in the show notes for you. I love you so much. I would love to hear how this episode landed for you. It was a really short and quick one, but it's also quite, what is it? It's like quality over quantity. Am I right? And like this short and sweet, straight to the point. Nice little nugget of wisdom before you jump on and into your day. I love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me, and just like all of the love and everything that I get from you guys. It just like fills up my fucking heart. Seriously, I love it so much. I'll be back in your ears next Thursday at 5:55 a.m. See ya.